Well, there were a lot of Eagles who were impressive yesterday at their very first training camp practice. However, there's one that was singled out by Fletcher Cox who looks different in terms of his size, his speed, and his strength, and is gearing up for a mega season. Also, Nick Sirianni, he raves about this one coach on his coaching staff who got a lot of criticism this past season, and also hints at a linebacker trade in the future. I'm Thomas Mott. This is the Thomas Mott Show. What's up, guys? Thomas Mott here. Welcome to the Thomas Mott Show on a Wednesday. Philadelphia has a close to the media practice today, meaning no media is actually able to watch. And so we got to take a look at some of the news and notes from yesterday that were missed by a lot of people, starting with Jordan Davis. He looks fantastic according to all reports. Look at him in this picture, side by side. Now, he's not on a scale. We're not for sure that he lost a bunch of weight, but you look at the gut here, you look at the muscle on the arms, he's definitely slimmed down a little bit. And for a guy who's already massive, getting a little bit slimmer, a little bit stronger in the lungs, a little bit stronger in the overall body could make a massive difference for him going into 2023. One person who took notice of this is Fletcher Cox, who said yesterday in his post-game or post-practice press conference, he's very impressed. Listen to this quote, "He's healthy. Last year, I think he really started to ramp up and then got hurt. And as a rookie, I think that kind of affected him. He was out for an amount of time, and now he's healthy, he's flying around, and you can feel his presence," end quote. Flying around, another little hint there at the speed possibly being a little bit better. Jordan Davis is gonna be a fascinating case study going into this season because last year he was a first-round draft pick, a lot of hype around him, started to go into his zone, as Fletcher Cox mentioned, and then had the ankle injury. And for being 300 plus pounds and like 9 feet tall, an ankle injury will really slow you down. So he kind of disappeared, didn't play as much, and people forgot about him. We move over to Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith, and we're all focused on them. However, if you have a healthy Jordan Davis, a slimmer, faster Jordan Davis, you're not just getting somebody who's gonna be there for all 16, 17 games this season, but somebody who might be able to play more than just run-stopping downs. And that's something that's very important for me, at least, for Jordan Davis. Can you get in there on second down and long? Can you get in there on third down and medium? And yes, still clog the run, but also be a pass rushing factor. He was, kind of good at rushing the passer at Georgia. He wasn't bad at it. I think this season is going to be very different for him. And the fact that Fletcher Cox is already taking notice, somebody who his whole job is to really get these young defensive tackles ready to go, is really good news, at least for the early beginning parts of training camp. Now, as I will continue to say, it's still early, so take it all with a grain of salt, but so far, really good stuff looking at what Jordan Davis has done for the Philadelphia Eagles. Okay, over here to Nick Sirianni's first press conference, mentioned a couple of things on this yesterday. We missed this one little point on the whole situation with Matt Patricia, obviously former Bill Belichick defensive coordinator, Lions head coach, drama with Darius Slay. We know the whole deal on Matt Patricia. Sirianni continues to rave about him. This guy is a big fan favorite of Nick Sirianni, vice versa. Listen to this quote. "He's been an excellent resource for me." Sirianni said in his press conference, "You bring guys like that in to do just that, be resources for you, be resources for the defensive coordinator. He has a ton of experience. It's nice to have a former head coach on the staff that I'm able to bounce some different things off of." Like I said, awesome resource. Comes from a great coaching tree. Always been fascinated by that coaching tree and how I pick the brain of that so I can continue to get better as a coach and ultimately get better as a team, end quote. So we talk about all these young faces on the coaching staff, new offensive coordinator, new defensive coordinator. There are still some savvy veterans like a Matt Patricia on this squad who could be helping out Nick Sirianni continue to become the best possible head coach he can here in year 3. Mentioned this on the Wednesday Link Live last night. This is a big year for Nick Sirianni. I mean, he proved himself last year. You got to be able to sustain the success, demand the respect that you've earned by being a Super Bowl coach, a coach who's made it to a Super Bowl. Not many have. I think this is a massive season. I hope Patricia and the whole stigma of him being, dumb and a bad coach and all that stuff is put to the side, and we focused in on the fact that he does come from a good coaching tree and does have some very good experience, not as a head coach, but as a coordinator on multiple football teams. Okay, over here too, one more quote from Nick Sirianni during his press conference, and this has to do with the linebacker position. Now, he was asked straight up, would you be willing to make a move at linebacker? Are you open to making a move at linebacker? How do you feel about the linebacker position? He said, quote, "We've got a lot of young players at that position. We're excited to see those guys. Evaluate them on a daily basis. And again, like anything, we'll keep our options open. We're never going to close the door on an opportunity to improve our team, so we'll constantly be looking at that position and every position," end quote. Now, you could take that as a typical, PC coach answer where he says, "Hey, we're evaluating people all the time, and if we want to make a move, then we will, but we're not going to, guarantee that we're going to do it." Or how I kind of read that was, "Hey, listen, we understand it's young. We're going to watch them. We're going to see how these linebackers are, how Dean and Morrow and Christian Ellis and Davion Taylor and Sean Bradley all look. If they play well, great. If they were to slip up, if they were to struggle, if there's not a starting linebacker on this roster, an LB1, we're gonna go out and make a move for him. That's how I read it. And you can read it either way, and let me know how you guys think about this down below in the comments section. But a lot of us have mentioned safety and linebacker are the two spots we're keeping an eye on in case they get halfway through training camp or past the first couple of preseason games and they want to make a CJ Gardner-Johnson type move as they did last year towards the end of training camp when they felt like safety was a big need. Talk about Budda Baker all the time. Talk about Patrick Queen all the time. Linebacker is one to keep an eye on. Now, very early, we have no idea what they feel or how they think about the linebacking core at the moment. However, I do think that they're going to be just fine. I'm a believer in Morrow. Christian Ellis had an interception yesterday. Everyone freaked out about that. Obviously, Nakobe Dean looks very, very good, but it's going to take a couple of days, maybe a couple of weeks, where we actually know just how good or bad this linebacking core is going to be for the Philadelphia Eagles. Over here to one other thing that I do want to mention. It's the Eagles continuing to tease us about the Kelly Green jerseys. They've done this thing over the past couple of days where they're basically posting memes mocking us for wanting the Kelly Green jerseys. Now, they did this poll a couple of days ago where they said, would you rather us launch the Kelly Green jerseys or mock you guys for a week? And most people voted mock us for the week. So, well, we're getting it, but you're getting a bunch of really, I mean, they're funny memes. They're not bad memes, but it's also like, guys, what are we doing? And I've read comments of some people are saying that it's because the branding is giving a little bit of an issue. They're trying. Hello, everybody. Thomas here. Got to interrupt this frame because as I was getting ready to finish editing this show, they released a teaser and gave us an official date for the release of the Kelly Green jerseys. So here is that teaser.
Cunningham backpedals. He looks. Now he's rolling. Still rolling. He is going to put the ball in the air for the end zone. Caught! Touchdown! What a catch! And the Eagles take the lead!
All right, they look pretty good. They look pretty good. I'm ready. July 21st or July 31st, couple of days from now, we'll have full coverage of the release. Get your wallets ready to take a hit when you pick one of these up. Now, back to what I was saying about how these jerseys need to be really, really good. It's actual long to give us the Kelly Green jerseys. And I know we all want them, we all want to buy them, but they better be the best alternate jerseys in the National Football League for making us wait this long. Like truly, you cannot drop a disappointing Kelly Green jersey after taking longer than every other football team, because most teams have done their alternate jersey, and then mocking us on the Twitter account. It's just ridiculous. So I'm still gonna get one. I don't know who I'm gonna get. Do you guys have a player in mind? I've thought about Carter, maybe Nolan Smith. Do you go for a classic Jalen Hurts one? I just don't know. I don't know which Hassan Reddick, obviously, that's not a bad idea either. Which Kelly Green jersey would you guys get? Let me know down below in the comment section. I think it's gonna be very, very interesting to see how long it takes and what they finally look like, because we've gotten, the fake mock-ups and stuff like that. I want the real darn thing, and I want it now, and I want to get it as soon as possible. Okay, plenty more stuff happening over the next couple of days and weeks here. Obviously, training camp is in complete full swing right now. Essentially what happens is close practice today, open practice tomorrow, and then a day off. They're gonna go 3 on, and then 1 off. And that's essentially what they're gonna do for the next couple of weeks here in Philadelphia. And most of them will be open, meaning most of them are gonna have highlights, and most of them are gonna have beat writers there with tweets, and we're gonna cover all sorts of stuff like that. But on days like today, it's closed practices, and so you basically get very little news and notes. You don't know how many interceptions Jalen Hurts threw, or how many touchdowns he threw, or if Christian Ellis did another interception, or how Jalen Carter looked. Tomorrow, we'll have plenty more stuff like that. And so if you appreciate all the training camp updates, you appreciate all the shorts that we're turning out here, you appreciate the new studio and the new mic setup and all the new lights and cameras, hit that subscribe button. We're so close to 15,000. 15,000 subscribers, like we're 200 away. So I'd love to get that as soon as possible and continue to grow this channel and grow this show. I know a lot of you guys appreciate it. I appreciate you. But if you have not subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that red subscribe button. Okay, I'm Thomas Mott signing off on a Wednesday. Very excited the fact training camp is here. This has been the Thomas Mott Show.